Hello there, and good morning. My name is Adam George Fournier, and I would like to welcome you to my Don Julio Subterranean Sir Impressions of La Primavera. Today is going to be about more than just a shared cocktail. This is going to be about the shared experience of creating. We're going to be working together today. Myself here in Los Angeles, my avatar with you in London, and even you, Dino and Rebecca, are going to be adding your own unique touches and flavors to this drink and experience. But before we talk about our paints, let's talk about our drink. This drink is inspired by my very first trip to Mexico and Don Julio and the sights and smells that surrounded me there. I hope to transport you today to the markets of Jalisco to let you see again the beautiful fields of agave growing in that red ochre soil, reflecting the blue of the Mexican sky as you emerge from those aging cellars of La Primavera. This is a painting that we are going to be making together using the most special of tequilas, Don Julio 1942. Now, Don Julio Gonzalez was devoted to the art of making tequila, and that devotion inspires all of us still here today. Nothing better represents his drive and passion than the tequila named for the year he began his journey. Our journey today begins with an empty glass, an empty shaker, and an egg white to capture the aeration of the drink, as well as ending a subtle background texture to it as well. But the first impressions of our flavors have to be, just as they were for Don Julio himself, the vegetal earthiness of the green agave, here represented by a few slices of cucumber. Now, on that trip to Mexico, I was struck by the diversity of what was available in the markets. There were things that I expected, but a lot that I didn't. Strawberries in particular were quite the pleasant surprise. And in that market, the combination of open fire, cooking food, with the scent of roasted agave in the air, mingling with that ripe freshness of strawberries has never left me. To recreate that impression here today, I've embered strawberries by roasting them over open coals and then juicing them to add 7 milliliters of experience to this drink. But now it's time for the subterranean element of earth to enter this drink. Tequila is all about terroir. It is of the place where it is made. The 6 to 8 years these agaves spend growing in the highlands of tequila means that by the time they're chosen to become part of Don Julio, they are the perfect representation of the very earth of the highlands. Here, the impression of earth is granted by 15 milliliters of rainbow beet juice, a little bit of earth, a little bit of sweet, and that oh so important color of the highland soil. Now, next on the palate, after those agave are roasted and crushed, comes the agua miel. To me, this has always represented the sweetness of potential, and here that impression is given by 15 milliliters of agave syrup. But La Primavera is not just about agave. No, the scent of citrus surrounds the distillery, giving a sense of life. Here, that sense of life is given by 20 milliliters of fresh lemon juice. Now, I'd say the painting's coming together pretty well, but every artist likes that bit of a flourish. So our flourish here today is 15 milliliters of an aromatized rosé aperitif. The gentian root used to aromatize this aperitif really ties together all the subterranean, earthy elements of this drink while simultaneously brightening it. But all of this is to create a background to let the phenomenal spirit that is Don Julio 1942 truly shine. All of the work that's gone into this cocktail is nothing compared to all of those years spent aging agave, followed by the minimum 2.5 years of oak aging that goes into every drop of the 45 milliliters of Don Julio 1942 we're using today. The devotion it takes to make this tequila is truly unparalleled. Well, I think it's time now to fill your glass canvas. The artistic process can be a bit shaky, so pardon me while I dry shake to fully incorporate all these ingredients. Then add our ice and shake hard. Afterwards, double shake or double strain to round the edges off of our creation. And now in front of you, you have 2 blank canvases. So it is time to paint them. No 2 people experience the same cocktail or this La Primavera in quite the same way. No 2 people will paint what they see in the same way. With that in mind, I'm going to ask you to reach into your shared vessels and pull out a pinch of each of the elements of your impressions. So you know what colors you're working with. You have red, made of beet and ginger for the earth and spice of the highlands. You have blue, made of spirulina and lime for the crisp sky above the mountains. And green, made of cucumber and citrus for the agave that grows between the two. Go ahead and grab a pinch of each of those and paint however you would like on top of your drink. Remember that in cocktails, just like art, there are no mistakes, only happy little accidents. Then as you drink this cocktail, I invite you to try it from different angles to see how different points of view can physically color your impressions and your experiences of this drink and cocktail. Now, it has often been difficult this past year to connect with friends and colleagues through a screen, to truly share with them. Yet the American painter Bob Ross did just that for years through his painting show. And I've tried to learn from him and emulate him a bit here today. Bob Ross once famously said, "I can think of nothing more meaningful than being able to express myself to others through painting." Bob Ross was devoted to painting. I'm devoted to the art of making cocktails. And I can think of nothing more rewarding than having been able to express myself here today with you through the art of cocktails, made possible by Don Julio 1942 and my Subterranean Impressions of La Primavera.